Greetings, this is Bradford Townsend, and this is a Forward Research Report. Today, I'd like to consider the idea that you can have both cosmic rays and what is called the grand solar minimum affecting climate and weather, as well as greenhouse gases. It seems like people who look at climate change and are very concerned, the Defense Department of the United States, Germany, Britain, and many countries feel that climate change is possibly the biggest danger to their national security and of the global industrial civilization. So I'd like to give some facts and show some information on why I think that we'll have both the powerful cooling forcing events and powerful warming events, which will cause even more chaos than either individually. Cosmic rays and greenhouse gases will certainly both have some impact on our weather and climate. Something that is often forgot about is pollution. There is very much an issue with pollution, especially those with respiratory diseases. Cancer, Alzheimer's, and many others are caused by car exhausts, plastics, and a plethora of other pollutants. One of the hugest being runoff of pesticides, herbicides, and fertilizers into the groundwater, aquifers, creeks, rivers, and streams. I'd like to read to you from the New York State's Environmental Agency about the health effects of vehicles and the harm that it does. How vehicle pollution harms the environment and health. Carbon monoxide, nitrogen oxides, and hydrocarbons are released when fuel is burned in an internal combustion engine and when air fuel residuals are emitted through vehicle tailpipe. Gasoline vapors are also escape into the atmosphere during refueling, when the fuel vaporizes from engines and fuel systems caused by vehicle operation or hot weather. The pollutants in vehicle emissions are known to damage lung tissue and can lead to and aggravate respiratory diseases, such as asthma. Motor vehicle pollution also contributes to the formation of acid rain and adds to greenhouse gases that cause climate change. Pollutions emitted directly from vehicles are not the only cause for concern. On warm, sunny days, hydrocarbons react with oxides of nitrogen to create a secondary pollutant, ozone. In many urban areas, motor vehicles are the single largest contributor to ground-level ozone, which is a common component of smog. Ozone causes coughing, wheezing, and shortness of breath, and can bring on permanent lung damage, making it the cause of crucial public health problems. We must remember that our science and knowledge of climate change, atmospheric chemistry, and fundamental science still is in its infancy, and we need to be humble as Dr. Gerald Pollack, the discoverer of EZ water, points out that we've just made major discoveries in water, finding a fourth phase of water, discovering how different types of light affect water, how radiation affects water. So we don't really understand clouds, evaporation, precipitation, why heavy molecules stay suspended up in the air, basic things, how evaporation works on a simple glass that you're holding or your coffee mug. So we need to be very humble and open-minded. Many strong sales pitches given by a passionate imam or Pentecostal preacher rather than a scientist who should be open and critical of their own hypotheses. And they are just hypotheses or notions. They're not hard, settled science. The following slides show correlations between sunspots and solar radiation, which is highly correlating with sunspot activity. There is a cyclical substantial variance in the rays across many different types and wavelengths being emitted by the sun. The Earth passes through different regions of outer space as the whole solar system and galaxy are hurtling through space, as well as our spaceship Earth. And we do not have the means to even speculate on what the next region of space, cosmic radiation, and space isn't empty. There are particles of dust and debris, little tiny asteroids, big asteroids, distributed through space. So it's all kinds of different activities could be going on the near cosmos to us that could hit us with radiation. We know that the Earth's magnetic field's polarity has switched, as well as the sun and the moon also may have some effect. So it's a very complicated, dynamic system. You need the partial ordinary differential equations for this, as you do in statistical thermodynamics. It's very advanced mathematics using linear algebra and matrices to program into computers. And we know from Henri Poincaré, the last great Renaissance man, at least in the natural sciences of physics and math, that the more you add to and complicate by adding more independent variables to your big functions, the results are more prone to err, the three-body problem, as well as limits that people such as Kurt Gödel and John Forbes Nash contemplated.